I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, just say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck. If everybody including Will, win. Fuck.
Same question for you.
You're a proud father.
There are levels in boxing, and Terence "Bud" Crawford just showed the world exactly where he belongs. In a new live interview, Crawford didn't just hint at criticism toward Gervonta "Tank" Davis. He unleashed it fully. What started as a casual conversation quickly became a direct call-out, with Crawford exposing Tank's recent performances, questioning his reputation, and even challenging the legitimacy of his last victory.
Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, "Oh, this guy, you a meat lover."
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or
Man,
is it
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. No, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. Like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah,
he definitely got skills. He got power. He got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways,
This goes far beyond ordinary fight chatter, because this is a statement. Crawford made his position unmistakably clear. He sees all the hype, hears every bit of noise, and refuses to buy into a Tank has been avoiding real challenges, and Crawford just ignited the entire lightweight division. If anyone believed the tension between them was over, think again, because what Crawford said implied, and the way he delivered it sent shockwaves through the room.
You said going out on 3 fights. You know the last 2 fights you want to go out on? Yeah, the last fight you want to go out on. Like, who? Do you have anybody in mind? No, I'm saying no. I don't have no name right now. But I got somebody I want to call out after this fight. You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight? Yeah. Who is that? I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it Lomachenko?
Somebody asked Lomachenko.
Right.
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that? Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Yeah,
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on, bro. Adam gotta fight somewhere else and prove himself, and then you feel me? You know how they got UFC and like the underground shit? You gotta fight on the underground shit and get that.
You gotta go to the G League.
The first bombshell came when the host casually brought up Tank's earlier claim that Crawford needed money, and you could clearly see Crawford's face twist in disbelief before he fired back with a blunt truth, saying we all need money, nobody fights for free. This wasn't just about cash. Crawford was exposing the hypocrisy, because if dollars matter, Tank isn't exactly on Forbes' billionaire list. Either both are prize fighters chasing legacy and a paycheck. So why was Tank acting like he was above it? All but the tension didn't stop there. When asked how he'd feel if Tank moved up to 154, Crawford didn't even flinch. He simply said, "I wish him the best." And that wasn't encouragement, it was a funeral speech, meaning Crawford isn't chasing Tank. If Tank wants that fight, he better level up fast. Because honestly, Tank at 154 is a whole different challenge. And from Crawford's calm response, it's clear he doesn't view it as a serious threat.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch it.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh, man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
He's undefeated for a reason. He knows his value and isn't wasting his prime on fantasy matchups against fighters who barely managed to get past Lamont Roach. Here's where it got intense. Crawford didn't simply critique Tank's resume. He broke down his most recent fight with precise detail. And when the topic turned to the Roach matchup, he held nothing back.
Let me ask you this.
Highlighted the moment Tank went down to a knee, something that should have been ruled a knockdown, and questioned how it was allowed to slide. Then he pointed out the strange scene where Tank's corner climbed onto the apron mid-fight and wiped grease from his eyes, which is not just suspicious, but a clear procedural violation, and Crawford made sure everyone watching noticed it. Even more shocking, he subtly questioned the referee, noting how Steve Willis began the count, then suddenly stopped almost as if someone backstage told him this was no longer ordinary boxing talk. It sounded like saying without that knockdown Tank would not have won, and he actually gave the advantage to Lamont Roach, and honestly, that is not something you hear from another elite fighter. But it shows how genuine Crawford is, because he isn't playing politics or protecting clout. He's giving the raw truth. In his view, Tank appeared overconfident. He underestimated Roach, and that arrogance nearly cost him the fight.
4 cards. Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Everyone expected Gervonta Davis to breeze past Lamont Roach like it was just another payday, another highlight reel knockout, and a flashy post-fight celebration. But Lamont completely turned the script around. From the very first round, he brought pressure, accuracy, and complete fearlessness. The fighter expected to be an easy warm-up, instead gave Tank one of the hardest nights of his career. And then came the 9th round, the moment that had everyone holding their breath, when Tank dropped to a knee after a clean right hand and body combination that was not a slip or a stumble. It was a tactical breakdown, and it looked like a definite knockdown.
How is this not a knockdown? Tank Davis was just exposed, man. What is going on in the sport of boxing, man? KDB Sports and Entertainment.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that.
And it wasn't only Terence Crawford pointing it out. Boxing figures like Eddie Hearn and Oscar de la Hoya also took to social media, declaring the same thing, that it was a knockdown with no room for debate.
This is my opinion. Sure. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision or if I think a draw was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take the knee, man, if you take the knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking the point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking the point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes, he's like, a point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right? The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? It's not, look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing. It just doesn't happen. Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, I mean, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna settle on, but the rules are
the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that, he should be...
The referee letting that moment go uncalled shifted the entire energy of the fight. And honestly, it may have been what preserved Tank's undefeated record.
I think the hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He hard in.
Here's the twist. Tank and Roach go way back to their amateur days, both from the same DMV region. So there was history, and maybe Tank believed he already had Roach figured out.
And Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, Roach and him, back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
But Crawford made it clear this isn't the amateurs, the pros play a different game. And if Tank assumes he can coast on his reputation, he's about to face a harsh reality check.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that, dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like...
Just not your cup of tea? That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, he just... one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Let's discuss one of the most viral moments from Crawford's interview. When he asked why the top fighters aren't facing each other, he named Teofimo Lomachenko, Shakur Tank Garcia, and Haney a dream lineup of super fights sitting idle. And he called it exactly what it is. Crawford made it clear that if all these fighters retire undefeated without facing each other, it would leave the biggest mark on this generation of boxing, because being at the top means fighting the best. And he even admitted, I ain't going to be the only one walking around with a loss, showing a mature mindset focused on competition over image. So if Tank is dodging fights to protect his perfect record, Crawford is already ahead in both skill and mentality. And it wasn't just about one fight. He also dropped subtle digs hinting at deeper doubts. And when asked about Ryan versus Tank and the rehydration clause, Crawford explained it, perfectly saying Tank was probably justified, but the clause clearly impacted Ryan. Then Crawford delivered a layered observation, noting how some fighters weigh in at 130 and rehydrate up to 165. He didn't mention Tank by name, but everyone knew who he meant. Crawford was making a point that modern boxing has too many loopholes, too many ways to manipulate the system, and Tank might be one of the prime examples. Beyond that, Crawford highlighted a bigger problem: the entire division is clogged and stagnant.
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
Nah, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
You're not even entertaining a catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at.
All right, I'll welcome. So many elite fighters, yet so few meaningful matchups. Everyone is thinking strategically, playing the long game, but the fans are left starving. Crawford mentioned Saudi Arabia, huge purses, and how money could finally get some of these bouts made. He's willing to travel, willing to take risks, willing to chase history. But the question remains, will Tank rise to match that same energy?
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Because while Bud is out here demanding real fights, Tank is clinging to exhibition, hype, social media drama, and barely earned victories. The contrast is obvious. And then he delivered the line. Crawford closed the Tank discussion with a statement that landed hard: they all know each other. And while that may seem harmless, the implications speak volumes.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying
afraid?
his name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of somebody. It gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit.
Crawford is highlighting that the top fighters, Tank, Ryan, Devin, Shakur, have all crossed paths since their amateur days. They understand each other's styles and know each other's weaknesses. So the question is, why aren't they actually facing off? Maybe they know too much. Maybe Tank knows who can beat him, and that's why he's playing it safe. But Crawford is ready for anyone, anytime, anywhere. This interview wasn't just a shot at Gervonta Davis. It was a wake-up call for the entire sport. Crawford reminded everyone what real champions sound like. He isn't ducking, he isn't dodging, he isn't dressing up victories. With PR, he wants the best, he wants the toughest. And he wants it now.
Going up those weight classes to face him, how can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because, they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do. He got. And another thing, bro, I don't be wanting to. How these guys is. Then he get hurt against
Imagine off. There you talking about Gamboa. Talking about Gamboa. By Imagine is that what you
said? He got clipped by Gamboa. Gamboa, right? Right? How the fuck is he's looking this strong over the past year? These years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now. That's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Y'all laugh. I'm always.
No detail. Open up.
And that guy that a part of it, he been caught before. He went to jail for it.
Talking about Victor Conti.
He went to jail, right?
Victor Conti.
Yeah. And he's the owner of the snack shit, right? And he went to jail for it. Now it's like. You see, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but you see, Earl said some things like that, like about the people in the steroids, but They don't want to say those names, but come on, bro. Like,
Tank, if you're listening, the pressure is on, the world is watching, and Crawford, just put your name in bold red letters. You've been called out if you're tired of the fluff fights and want Tank to finally step into the ring with a real challenge. Like Crawford, smash that like button. Now drop your thoughts in the comments. Who takes it? If these two clash, Crawford or Tank? And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're breaking down every jab, every scandal, and every headline in this crazy world of boxing. I'll see you in the next one.